Was poppin', was poppin', was poppin'. Welcome to Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And we are on episode 30. And today we're doing something really, really dope. We got a special guest that is going to make you hungry, that is going to connect with you because he's one of us, right? And he's done brand deals. He's traveled. He's left his 9 to 5. He's verified. He's killing the game. Like I said, you're going to get hungry. Moose, how you feeling about this episode?
A tough time to record the episode because I'm still fasting. But hey, an amazing brother. I got a chance to connect with him on Clubhouse. So I'm excited for this and it's going to be great.
You got to find out who we're talking about after the intro.
2 kids from Queens, cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never-before-seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
So it wouldn't be right if we didn't do, but we are, Review of the Week. So this one comes from your girl favorite, Sigma. Okay, they said, killing it. I love this podcast. The flight assessment piece and how they go into the lives of people we know as celebrities help us bring a fresh perspective. Straight fire.
Hey.
All right, I messed up. I got it. I got messed up though a little bit. Moose were on 30. Moose
were
on 30.
You've been on a streak though. No, I know. Couple 3 decades, a third of a way to a century. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a big deal. It's a
huge deal. It's a huge deal. But let's get into this guest because the reason why we brought him on is because yes, we go through all the celebrities and how to build the brand and how to build your business and everything, but we want to actually bring somebody who's doing it right now and is just continuing to climb in a very dope way by following his passion and eating. I'd be so jealous.
Everyone wants. Yeah, facts. Everyone wants to get paid to eat.
Yo,
you know?
But if you see, and I'm going to get to him, I promise you. But if you see his videos, right, it just looks so happy. It's like every single, first off, I'm going to ask him, not everything can be good. We're going to get into like the real like conversations of, is that smile, even though it may not be good, you don't have to name the person or the restaurant. But my man is like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yo. Right. Shout out to the YouTube listeners viewers who just saw that audio. Y'all hear the passion that I have. But let me get into my man, Jeremy.
There he is.
What's up, Jeremy?
Officially hiring Nicky. I don't know what your fee is, but I need that introduction everywhere I go. What's up, Nicky and Moose? Thank y'all.
Yo, thank you for being here. Thank you. Look, first off, let's get. I'm gonna ask because I already brought it up, right? Okay. No. I'm not gonna get into it. Let the people know who you. Oh no, it's gonna be the first question though. I'm gonna let people know who you are. All that great stuff. Let the people know who you are. Just like quick little, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, however you feel like it. I know you're a preacher sometimes, so however you feel like it. I already know.
Well, what's up, Nicky? Well, first of all, I want to say you guys, thank you for inviting me on. I feel great, babe. Very grateful. When I got the message, I said, me? Oh, I'm excited. I was like, I'm excited. But what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for listening in. My name is Jeremy Joyce. I'm the founder of Blackpeopleeats. And pretty much it's just a company that brings joy to the world. We do that by connecting y'all to Black-owned restaurants. Now, outside of that, I really just like helping people find their purpose, discover their voice, and change the world. Like, that's really just who I am. And that's what I do. And I try to do it every single day. That's my job, to make people happy.
Love it.
Love that. Look, but okay, I gotta ask the question.
Go ahead. Let's go.
So let's do this, right? So if for those people who haven't gone to Black People Eats Instagram, please go right now while you're watching or listening to this, right? But every video you look so like you enjoy every single bite, right? We're going to get into all the really like special part and the important part that people come here for. But has there been one that you didn't and you still did a video like it was the best thing in the world? How did you go through that? I want to know. Let the people know. Don't say names unless you're that transparent. Go ahead. I am.
Okay. So here's the thing. If I try something and I don't like it, I don't post it.
There we go.
Here's why, right? Y'all meet many people in the world, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many negative people.
Right.
So why am I gonna be like, yo, I love the Nicky and Moose podcast. You know, they do their intros really good, but they outros suck. Why am I gonna talk about their outros when you guys have amazing intros? Why don't I just highlight the amazing part? So if one of my strengths is positivity, right? Celebrating achievements and being the force behind optimism, I said I am only gonna highlight what I enjoy, which is what my personal preference is. And if I don't like it, then I won't post a video of me eating it. Because when you look at other cultures, when they doing these food stuff, they don't talk about what they don't like. So I was like, I want to eradicate pessimism in our community. I said the way to do that is to only show what I enjoy. And that's it. And leave it up to the world to decide. And it's so crazy, yo, that it's people who be like, why you gotta post something positive? I want to hear the bad stuff. It's people who like actually say that, which actually shows me there's more work to do. So honestly, that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, I remember I was outside recording and I was recording something and I was like, yeah, we getting ready to boom, boom, boom. I was like, cut the camera off. No, cut the camera off. But I would never do that because, you know, if, you know, Nikki got some amazing mac and cheese and her greens is terrible, why am I going to tell everybody how bad this is instead of saying, this is how good this is, you know? So that's the concept that I try to follow. I really got it from the Bible story of Noah. His son exposed his dad instead of covering him up. So it's like, look at Jeremy. He do this, he do that. And I think a lot of people do that now. They'll try to come to Nicky and be like, Nicky and Moose, you see what that dude doing over there? He over there tripping instead of going to Jeremy saying, hey, bro, I think maybe you should take a seat for a while. I noticed you ain't doing it too well. So I said, if I could take this concept and cover negativity up instead of exposing it, I think it'd really be a blessing to people in the world. So that's really like where I got it from.
Wow. I love that. I love that.
It was an early lesson, people. Yeah. Early lesson. But I know Moose is going to bring it all the way back. I'm sorry for my spontaneous vibes.
No, I love it. I love it because it definitely, like, even the way you go about it stays true to who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, grounded in your book of faith and all that, which I think is incredible. But tell the people how you got started, man. Like I said, I think you probably got, I wouldn't call it a job per se. Obviously, you're you know, your own brand, but who doesn't want to get paid to try different foods, right? Like amazing food and tell the people about it. That's like the most amazing job ever. But tell us how you got started, man. I'm so intrigued about the concept and also the business aspect of it because, you know, we're super passionate about, of course, highlighting Black and brown, you know, folks and their businesses as well. So in a very direct way, you're also doing that, but in a way that brings joy and happiness to you. So tell us about how you got started, man. I think that'll be something everyone wants to know.
Yeah, thanks, Moose, for that. I appreciate that, man. So how I got started was this. There's a place in Chicago called Italy. Imagine Whole Foods times 10. This is what this place is like premium meats, wines, cheeses, all that. I went to something called the September Fest. It was September of 2017, and I went there, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna record myself. I don't really see black people recording themselves eating. I'm gonna record myself eating and see what happened. Went to this festival, $100 a ticket, all you can eat. I had a smoked bluefish tuna salad, and I was like, I'm gonna just eat this. Black folks don't eat stuff like this. I'm gonna just eat it. And I recorded my video. I did a cheesy voiceover, and I was like, I'm gonna just do this. And I noticed as I was recording, I only seen like 5 minorities there, and I'm talking about like all races.
Wow.
So I went home. I said, I'm not going to sleep until I found a free editing app and create a video. Now, my degree is in finance. So I was like, I'm not going to sleep until I find a free app. I stood up for like 4 hours, finding an app, downloaded different apps. Then I created like a little intro. It's funny because I started with voiceovers, then I stopped, but now I'm back doing them. I did a little voiceover like, yeah, guys, look at the bluefish, blah, 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 tuna salad is. And then the video went from that to transition into me eating it. I sent it to all of my homies, and they was like, yo, this is your calling, bro. This is hilarious. And I said, this video is not going to get no more than 200 views. It got like 350. So from September, I started just like, all right, I'm going to just do a personal blog. I'm going to do food, faith, fashion, finance, right? You know, y'all know people who all over the place. That was me. And I met this one girl. Her name was Rockford Eats. I drove to Rockford. It's about 2 hours away from Chicago. I just DM'd her. I didn't know her, but something in me trusted her. And I drove, and I hate driving. Drove 2 hours away. This girl was, at the time, was 23. I was about 25. She had a presentation. She showed me what to do, how I could take pictures as far as like using light, how to post, things like that. She just showed me what she was doing. And then her last piece of advice to me was, you need to start a business. And I said, no. Came home, told my mentor, Mr. Thomas, yo, just met this girl, Rockford East, boom, boom, boom. He's like, you need to make it a company. No. This is September, about a week later from my festival. From September to November of 2017, I spent the time traveling, going to LA, going to Memphis, going to New York, and going to LA, going to Memphis, going to some other cities. And I said, I'm going to just post. And I would post pictures, and none of the blogs would never tag me in Chicago, LA, New York. And I said, why they not reposting my stuff? My stuff looked decent. Went to the pages. They didn't promote people of color. Then I said they didn't promote restaurants of color unless they were in certain neighborhoods, right? Like the neighborhoods where it's mainly white people. After that, I said, I'm going to start a company. And I said, black people eat too. I'm going to start a company. And I said, if this doesn't work, I'm going to quit. And I started it December 12th, 2017, and I did not look back ever since then. And that's really the birth. And one thing I will say in that, I think around October, I said, I think I'm going to start a company. And I was like, but I got to get all this camera. And my mentor was like, no, you don't. You use your phone. And I was like, no, I need a camera. Bought a camera. 3 months later, I made it to WGN on my phone. So, and I got camera equipment now, and I use my phone for everything. So it was really just that, man, seeing people doing what I wanted to do, giving me the seeds of motivation, then having the discipline to water that seed was really how Black People Eat started and how it was formed.
Wow.
But why didn't you want to start it as a business when they told you? I wanted to stop you right there. And I was like, nah, let him rock. But why were you hesitant to start your company and your business and all that great stuff when your mentors told you to?
Oh, that's a good question, Nikki. That's because we can get good advice from people, but until we see it, we won't listen. And that's actually one of my biggest things. Somebody asked me, what's one thing you wish to learn? I said, I wish I would have listened earlier. So for me, I didn't want to just have a food page because I wanted to be faith, fashion, food, and finance. And I forgot the other F. It was going to be called the 5 Fs. I don't even remember the other one. And I was going to do food on one day, something faith on one day, fashion on one day, finance on the other day, and flights. Flights was for travel. Then something else about travel. And my mentor said, you just need to do food. If you really like, which one you care about the most? I was like, I love eating because I legit love food. I worked in the restaurant industry for 6 years, from 16 to 22. I started cooking. I was like 8, had advanced food class, and I was like 15. I was like, I just love food. He was like, just post food because you're forcing your followers to get all of this stuff over the pace. And then he hit me with the numbers. He said, how can you truly track your success if you're not just going to do one thing? I challenge you to do it. And I was like, no. I still said no. And that's really what it was. It was me being stubborn. It was me thinking I knew it all. And it was me figuring out that I didn't really need to listen to you, even though you have 4 companies, you know, even though some of your companies have 7-figure budgets. But I don't want to listen to you because I'm a millennial and I think I know it all. So I'm just not going to listen to you, and I'm going to just rely on my own ego. And I actually called him the other day and said, remember when I didn't even want to start this? So that's the real reason. I wanted to force my followers to like different things. But he said, I challenge you to measure your success from the ground up. Start from the beginning. And I was like, ooh. But it's fearful too, right? Because you don't really know what it's like. Honestly, Nicky, my goal was only have 100 followers at the end of the year. That was my goal. And then he said, what was success to you? He said, if you know success, then you know what to aim for. I was like, 10,000 followers, eating for free. That's what success is like. And I hit that in 10 months. So, like, it's literally, Nicky, because I felt like I could do it my way. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people coming out now. How in the world am I going to reject Nicky and Moose's wisdom when y'all have been doing this for years? And here I'm going to come feel like just because I'm smart or educated that I think I know what I'm doing. And that was my problem was.
Help me.
A lot of gems, Jay.
Me.
Yeah, there's a lot of gems.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
That's a
Moose,
lot of
'cause
gems.
I had another one. I don't want to hog it. Go, Moose.
Yeah, no, tell us, and I'm actually, I want you to break down that part, right? Because I think what's unique about the story is that you notice the gap, right? You're like, okay, hold up. Why aren't the blogs reposting my stuff? And then number 2, there is no Black people here, right? Like that's a gap where most people would probably feel like, oh man, like I stick out like a sore thumb, or maybe I don't belong here. Let me go where I will fit in. For you, that kind of encouraged you, and you actually talk about just that insight, you know, because I do feel like that's definitely one of the key ingredients, and we're going to talk, you know, food is like one of the key ingredients that, you know, determine success. Talk to us just about that insight and how you were able to see that and not allow it to push you out, but actually force you to go a little bit harder, you know, in doing it.
Yeah, sure, Moose. Honestly, man, you know what I was thinking about, Moose? I was like, man, all I see is white hands. Now, I could have looked at it, and be like, I'm good. I'm going to just chill. But for me, I said, you know what? I'm going to create something that every single person on this earth, no matter who they are, can sit at the table and create a pair of legs that will raise Black restaurants up to the main table because they're at the kiddie table. I said, because if these companies are not going to promote them, what they're essentially saying is, I am not going to bring economics to that community. I'm not going to bring economics to the group of people. I'm going to leave it to where my community is. And for me, it's like, man, have y'all ever been somewhere and like you feel uncomfortable? It's like, I want to go there, I want to eat, but I'm uncomfortable because, because maybe I got on a jersey and a gold chain. They looking at me weird. Or maybe because now, I'm Moose, I wear the collared shirts and I got nice shirts, but now today I want to put on a hoodie. And because you got on a hoodie, they looking at you weird. I said, I want to find places where people can be accepted, where people can be loved, but where people can have joy. And that's why I did it. I said, I'm not even going to try to be on their platform no more. I'm done with that. I'm literally going to pick up a hammer, go cut down this tree, and go build my own table. And then they're going to be coming to my table asking me questions on how did you build this? Because we've had this table for 50 years, but we see that yours has more stabilization. And that's what my key was. I said, I'm not going to go to somebody else's platform. I'm about to just create my own, and I'm gonna see what happens. And the goal was never only just for Black people; it was for all people to be united and connected through food. And I was gonna do that by showing them the Black restaurants. Because if you look at the pillar of America, Black women were in the kitchen. Black women were creating books. I wish I had my book is upstairs. Abba, I think it's Abba Fisher or Anna Fisher, the oldest cook, the oldest history Black, the oldest Black book cooking. I don't know recipes for Black African Americans. Pound cakes was made. The reason it was called pound cakes because you have that pound of butter,
I love
pound of
pound cake.
but the
Wow.
real pound cake, check this out, Nikki. The real pound cake has a pound of butter, pound of sugar, like a pound of flour, because they were making it for families. They weren't making it for us. They was making it for white people. So we Black people always led the movement in food. Like and once I started to understand that, like we took scraps and made it scrumptious. So for me, I was like, they getting off our food anyway. Southern cuisine, we created it. Soul food, we created it. I said, I'm gonna create something different. I'm gonna create my own. And watch this. Literally, that's literally what I was like, Moose. I was like, I'm gonna just create this and watch this.
That's dope.
Look, I told y'all this was gonna be good. I told y'all. Y'all didn't want to believe me. Maybe I did. I don't know. So I actually want to go a little bit back because you said you wanted to do like this 4 or 5 F thing, right? And then you narrowed it down to what you do right now. Did you ever try doing it and then realize, this isn't going to work? Did you not want to do that one thing because you felt like it was going to like box you in? Like break down like that beginning part as far as I wanted to do the 4 or 5 Fs. I tried, it didn't happen, but mainly because this, that, and I didn't want to be boxed in. Like break that down. Cause when you said that, I was like, no,
Yeah,
let's
that's
not
good.
pass by that because there's a lot of people who don't want to focus on one thing because they feel boxed in. And the fact that you then narrowed it down is so crucial. And I want to have a conversation about it.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for asking that question. Honestly, I did not want to be boxed in. I'm gonna be 100 with you. When you focus on something, what you're doing is saying, like, I'm putting on these focus glasses, right? And when I put these on, I'm literally gonna hone in on something. I'm just gonna focus on that one thing. I'm gonna eliminate distractions. I'm gonna become quiet in my own mind. I'm gonna mute the noise and I'm gonna find that lane and I'm gonna just execute in it. I didn't want to do that because I literally felt like, well, if I'm going to do food, I'm going to dress nice, so I could just go take a picture. If I'm driving in my car, I just turn on my camera and just do a little video real quick. So I'm like, I could just do all of this. But, and everybody has their own opinion, but for me, in my opinion, I believe this is what really set the tone off. Miles Monroe had a video and he was talking about purpose, and I'll never forget this. He said, most people are a jack of all trades, but a master of nothing. And I was like, oh, snaps. Yo, that makes sense. And then I remember overviewing a book called Mastery of by Robert Greene. And I remember reading like a snippet of it, and it said, most people have not mastered anything in the synopsis. And I was like, I feel boxed in. But see, the problem is when you try to be a jack of all trades, you're not gonna do everything well. It's literally like y'all both having me in the middle, and I got Nicky's rope, and then I got Moose's rope, and I'm trying to do both, and I'm just getting pulled. If I'm getting pulled, I'm slowly coming down. You can't stand your ground if you're getting pulled from two directions. But now, if me and Nikki start doing tug of war by ourselves, now I have more of a firm grasp to pull something towards me. And I think the real reason why some of us haven't been pulled into our full purpose is because we're trying to do more than one thing and we're stretching ourselves out. But then again, it's like, well, I think people want to be known for doing all these things. because it sounds good, it looks good. Like, yo, I got a podcast, yo, I got an Instagram, yo, I got a YouTube, yo, I got a t-shirt company, yo, I got a consulting company. I also do private coaching. It sounds so good, but yet you're doing it by yourself, you're burning yourself out. And that's what I realized for me, Nikki. I was like, I feel boxed in doing one thing, but when I start doing the one thing, I blew the box up. And now I was like, okay, well, what's the next box I want to try to do? Because now you blow something up, you create a system, you replace yourself, and then you go do it. You go do the same thing. And that's what it was for me, Nikki. And it's funny you said that, because when I started to focus on food, a lot of people don't know this. I'm finna drop this. I changed my name from Black People Eats to All People Eats a weekend. I allowed somebody to convince me that only focusing, so when we talk about focusing, only focusing on Black restaurants will not get you far. So you need to change it. I changed my name from Black People Eats to All People Eats. I was at my best friend Rob's house, and I was telling him what I was getting ready to do. And the day I was showing him a video, I saw a restaurant repost my video, but they tagged my old name. So after that, I was like, crap, I got to change my name back, because they're not going to find me. And ever since then, I was like, I will never change my name. I'm going to focus on this one thing. I'm going to eliminate the distractions. I'm going to just see what happens if I put all my energy and focus on this one thing. And I'm going to see what happens. And ever since then, it's been taken out. So somebody watching, the real reason you can't build your box because you're trying to build 10 boxes in a windstorm. You can't do that. You got to focus on one. You know what I mean? You got to focus on one. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing, Nikki. They're trying to build houses in a sandstorm. 10 houses. You can't do that.
Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
I would want you to repeat it, but I just want that to soak in for certain people. I just want that to soak in. Moose, go.
I like that. I like that. He said, you can't do it. You can't do it. I like it. I like it. Jay, talk to us about what happens next now, right? Like you obviously kind of figured out the niche, you double down, you start building momentum. You said you got to 10,000 followers in 10 months. Were there some challenges maybe like at that point that you're like, ooh, okay, this one hurt a little bit? Any adjustments that you had to make? You know, what happened next after that?
Okay, so now, I got my business. I'm excited. I'm an entrepreneur. Woo! All right, let me give you all the dark side. So now I'm having fun. I'm posting. Okay, you got to get an LLC, right? Because you want to be official. Because I don't want, Nikki to go to a restaurant and maybe something don't be good and maybe something happens and now she coming to me. So now
I will blame you. I will.
So now what I did, I said, I got to be serious. Mm-hmm. Hey, I never filled out an LLC form, Lamont. You mind taking me down on my lunch break at work and go fill out an LLC form? We did that in March. That was the first thing. And so what I did was I said, God, if this is something I'm supposed to be doing, send me people now that will help me build this. So once we start generating income, I know who to put on payroll. Because I did not want to just create something and it just be fun. I wanted to create a systematic structure behind the fun, which makes something business. Because a lot of people just have hobbies. I don't think they have businesses. They just have exciting hobbies. But I wanted to add systematic structure plus exciting hobbies, which equals business. The next day, Moose, somebody called me and said, God told me to serve you. That girl became my assistant for like a year and a half. A week after that, I got an accountant. A week after that, I got a marketing person from Pepsi. A week after that, I got a lawyer. And then I had a graphic design person. So then what I said was, okay, no matter what I do, I'm never going to give up. I'm going to post every single day. I don't care how many likes I get. I don't care how many comments I get. I'm just going to post every day. If people tell me this sucks, I'm going to keep on going. If I don't get the results, I'm going to keep on going. So I literally just started posting. I didn't think about the money. I didn't care about the money because I had a job. So I was like, the most I'll get is free food, but I'm working, so I don't need the money from these restaurants. I want to just post every day, right? So that's the first thing, Moose. I said, I'm going to just post every day. I don't care. I just want to add value to people. People are going to love coming to my page and go see good food. I'm going to keep doing it. Then I said, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to show my freaking true self. I don't care no matter what. Then I'm going to find restaurants that nobody go to, and I'm going to just be real about it. I'm not going to bite the food. I'm going to do it all on camera, and I'm just going to show people what it is. Then I said, I'm going to be emotionally stable. I'm going to be grounded in who I am no matter what. So if Nicky call me like, hey, you know you my homie, but that video was trash, I'm going to keep going anyway because I'm not going to take it personal. Because in business, people are going to be led by their emotions. I implemented those structures. In 6 months, we hit 1,000 followers. In 8 months, we hit 3,000. And in month 8 to month 10, we went from 3 to 10. So then I said, okay. And this is when the business came. Moose called me one day. He's like, hey, I know you did that video 3 weeks ago, but I want it up like tomorrow. How much it cost? So now I have to figure out, what does value look like? How much do I charge people to follow? Right? And then that's how I was able to get money. And I was able to meet somebody. His name is Jared. They call him Feast Bobo. This man took me from here above the school. He gave me, this is how you charge. This is how you do value. This is how you do monthly contracts at restaurants. This is what a contract looks like. This is what it means to literally add value to a restaurant where you can go to the next game. And he literally gave me the game and ended up becoming a food coach in the industry. So that's what happened. I started. I was excited. Then I had to just figure out no money, just give out content. Skip all this other. And this is before we know everything about now. Like, you got to push content. This is before all of this. This is like, I got to just push out stuff because I'm starting from zero. I'm starting from scratch. And honestly, Moose, bro, that's how it started, man. And from there, everything just magnified. It just grew. But that's how I started, because people think it's sweet. Like, oh man, I see y'all podcast, y'all got all these listeners. No, in the beginning, I never cared about followers. I did not care. I only cared if Moose comes to Chicago, him and his homies, they're going to find this restaurant and they're going to love it. And they're going to say, we saw this on Blackpeopleeats. I didn't care about nothing else.
Wow.
And that's what my focus was in the beginning, bro.
Wow.
Okay. All right. And I wish I could go deeper into certain parts, but
Really go deep.
man, no. Well, yeah, we are. Okay, so talk to the people. That there's two things I want to go over, right? When you started charging for when people wanted you to post earlier, right? Like, what did that even look like in your head? Did you go through the whole undervaluing your platform? Did you charge too high? Because I know pricing is a problem for some entrepreneurs, right? I'm not going to say all, but some entrepreneurs, and especially when it comes to social media, because that's such a new vibe for them. They're like, wait, I do this for free. You're telling me you want me to charge you for this? Like, so talk out your process of like, how did you measure your value based off dollars?
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. So at first I was like, oh, $50. It's cheap. People can pay me $50. That's nothing. It's extra money. I'm going to be honest with you, Nicky. I was like, just give me $50. And then I just started charging 50. And this is when I said, okay, I got to change. I talked to my mentor, Mr. Thomas, and that man said, how much you make an hour at your job? And I was like, maybe like, I couldn't remember the price, like $25, something like that. He's like, okay, did you quit your job? And I was like, no. He's like, okay, well, you not worth more than what your job is paying you. How dare you charge me more than what you're willing to accept from a company? So to me, you should charge whatever they paying you. If your job paying $100, you're gonna charge me $100 an hour, but you're accepting 10. I was like, I ain't ready for this wisdom. I'm gonna just go ahead and reject this real quick. So okay. I was saying, let me look at what the industry standard is. And I was like, okay, the industry standard is, I believe, is $10 for every 1,000. I can't remember. It's like $10 to $12 for every 1,000, like something like that. But these are Black restaurants. So, like right now, I could probably charge a white restaurant $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. I can't charge a Black restaurant that, because they don't even understand marketing budgets. They don't even understand that 10% of your budget should be marketing, and then 2 to 5% should be digital marketing. They don't even understand that component. So
wait.
Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Bring that back. I need somebody to write that down. Say that back.
Black businesses do not understand. And this is according to an article I saw at the time, I believe 2019 or 2020. Black businesses, 10% of your budget should go towards the marketing. 2 to 5% should be towards digital marketing. And I'm pretty sure this number is higher now. So then I said to myself, man, I can't charge them what white foodies is charging. Because white foodies to go to a restaurant and get paid $800 just for one picture. I said, man, me trying to explain that to a restaurant, I'm going to stress myself out even explaining that. So then I said, I want to be able to do this at an affordable price. So I was like, I'm going to just charge $50. And then I remember my food coach at the time was like, you should charge about $50 to $75 per post, and then you could do it for $250 a month. And then as I started to grow my following, I was like, I will change every like maybe 25, then 50. And then that's when I started to develop a price. But I did undervalue myself, Nikki, because you'd be like, man, do restaurants really want to pay? Are they really going to do it? But then this when I started to do some numbers, I said, hold on. If I charge these dudes $100 and I post this and 30 people just came and the meal is $20, that's $600, but I only charge them $100 and they just came up $5. And then let's say if they at least get a 50% retention rate, then that means they're going to get $300. And that's off them giving me $100. They just made potentially $1,000, $900,000 in a month off my $100. Hecky nah. I had to start. I was like, So that's when, like, now I tell them my price. If they be like, that's too much, I'm like, okay. I don't care no more, because I know the value and experience that my platform brings. But I do feel like in the beginning, if you have value for real, don't devalue yourself because you need some money. Because people don't respect what you discount. They will not respect what you discount. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Say that one more time.
People do not respect what you discount. Like, there was a concept that I was watching. What's the dude who do the Angry Bar? What's his name? Bar Remake. The guy, whatever his name is. I heard him say something and it stuck with me. He said, people don't get addicted to free. People get addicted to discounts. Because if Nikki charges $50,000 to speak, but she gives me a discount for 20, I'm never gonna want to pay 50 because I just got her for 20. And I think once we experience something at a deal, we never want to pay the full value because we've experienced something at a discounted price. So why now should I charge something at a higher price? You got to always remember, if you take that higher price, if you do that, you got to expect people not to buy because they be like, well, if these wings was $6 on Monday, now you're telling me they 13? Well, I'll just wait till Monday.
Wow.
This podcast right now.
But I'm kind of still caught up in the last 3 things you said. I don't even have a question. I'm still kind of processing right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, shoot. Nikki, go back with another. You got another one, Nick?
I got you. Please. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got it. So, okay. We didn't even go over what in the world was your job before. Like, we speaking about all about the process and the ups and downs of Black People Eats, but we don't even know what you did before and talk to us about the first day you thought about leaving but didn't.
Mm.
Okay, I'll just give you everybody what the job is, Nikki. Thanks for that question. I was in corporate finance. I was working in an investment sector. So let's say, Nicky and Moose has their money in Fidelity, like which is an
Mhm.
investment firm, if you guys don't know what that is, or for the listeners who don't know. Nicky and Moose has their money in an investment firm. And let's say an investment firm is like a cookie jar. So Nicky and Moose money are cookies. The cookies are in the cookie jar, and the investment firm has access to the cookie jar to make sure cookies either come in, which means assets are coming in, or cookies are coming out to bring more cookies in later.
Yeah.
So I worked with investment manager firms, the cookie holder, to make sure that the money was still growing for people's accounts. So I was dealing with a client who might have one account, 30 currencies, multi-million dollars in all currencies. So I was working in the finance sector. It was, and I'm for whoever this is for, you need to listen to this. I wanted to be in finance. I felt like my life would be nothing if I didn't get a job downtown Chicago in finance with the skinny suits, with the nice leather shoes, with the leather bag, with the skinny ties, with the pocket watches, with the pocket squares, with the watches, all that stuff. I thought my life was nothing, so I strived for that. I chased that. I got it, and I was miserable and I was empty. I want you guys to hear that. I remember people told me, you can't get a job like that going to a school like you're going to. And I was like, watch this. So I did it. I chased it. I got it. I received it. And I was miserable. I honestly knew the first day I walked in my job, this was not it. I knew it. I could just sense it over me. So I continued to work anyway. I tried to get a job 2 years in a row, Nikki. They told me no. I got to the highest rank, and I tried to get a job working over portfolios, like working with multi-million-dollar clients. And then I remember I got to the highest ranking interview they told me the same thing 2 years in a row. I'm sorry, but you're a good candidate. You're positive. You great energy. You bring a lot to the table, but no. The second year this happened, it broke me. And I remember it broke me because the person that got selected was a guy who sat across me in my job that was white, that didn't dress nice as me, that didn't have the expensive shoes like me, that didn't have the nice suits like me, that didn't have the charisma like me, that didn't have the charm like me, that didn't treat people well like me. And it broke me. And at that moment, when I got declined, I remember I looked at myself and said, am I dressing like this because of the image that I want to give me to this job? Am I doing this because I just want to get over there? Is this all about my ego? And I had to redefine my image in that moment. I stopped dressing up. I started dressing down. And I said, I'm just going to treat people nice and see how people respond to me by me not dressing up all the time. And I started to notice shifts. And that year, that it broke me was the same year I started Black People Eats. I called my mentor and I was like, man, I didn't get the job. And he was like, it wasn't meant for you to have it. And I wasn't trying to hear that. I was not trying to hear that. I was hurt because I really wanted that job, but it was all my ego. So now Black People Eat start. Now it's going good. A year and a half in it, Eater, which is a big article company, I had launched a website for a Black restaurant database for Atlanta and Chicago. It was getting all over the news. People started coming to me and my job was like, hey, I saw your article. Boom. I was like, okay, cool. That wasn't it. The moment I truly knew was when 2020. This is the moment when I knew. We did a fundraiser for Black restaurants because Black restaurants was hurting. And I can remember just as clear as day. We did a fundraiser. And my goal was to raise $20,000 in 2 weeks to help 40 restaurants. 40 restaurants would get 500. I woke up in a day and we had 25,000 in a day. We're at 50,000 in 2 days. I was like, I just raised my salary in 2 days. Then we did 60 in a week. Then we did 75 in 2 weeks, and then 2 individual companies gave away like 10,000 separately. Then that's in 2 weeks, right? So day 8 of that fundraiser, I said, let's do a festival, $6.19 for Juneteenth. Let's just see what happens. Man, I might start crying. It's crazy. The day of Juneteenth, I put it together in 7 days with my team. The festival did 500 grand. Sales only 73 restaurants did 500 grand amongst all restaurants. So we raised 100. At the end of the fundraiser was the festival. The festival, 500 grand. The same night of the festival, finalized my deal with Discover. That was the moment I was like, I called my mentor and he's like, why are you still working? And he said, your name, he said, you don't have enough faith. I said, yes, I do. He's like, your name is Half Faith. I said, how? He's like, are you going to quit tomorrow? I was like, no. He's like, okay, your nickname is Half Faith. I'm going to call you Half Faith every time I see you, you leave. So he's like, Half Faith, Half Faith. That's all he used to tell me. That was the moment I knew, but I didn't leave. This is the moment I left. Man, and somebody needs to hear this because I know what it's like. In September, I was on the news a lot. I think I was on the news like 8 times within 2 weeks. In September of 2020, like August, September, my boss called me in a meeting. It was random. We was just in a meeting talking. And then randomly, at the end of the meeting, he was like, my boss called and said, she saw you on the news and she was a little irate because she saw you on the news, but she thought she was on the news during work hours. But I implored her, you don't start until 8:30. But I was on the news at like 8. And I love what you're doing. I think everything that you're doing is good. But I just want to let you know that keep in mind that this job is your top priority. And make sure that if you're going to be on the news going forward, that you let me know so I can stay abreast. When I got that meeting, I was like, I'm leaving. I don't know when, but I'm out. That's my sign. I'm out. And then I actually ended up going to the head of PR. I found out that I don't need to tell him when I'm on the news because I'm not mentioning anything about my job. And that's when I said, oh, okay, I don't know when, but it's time. October, it was funny that all of a sudden I had a training schedule the day that my festival started in October. Then I said, it's funny that my boss's boss would bring up that she saw me in the Chicago Tribune article on Instagram, but wouldn't say congratulations. So I started paying attention. I said, yeah, it's time. And then I went from, I'm going to quit, so I'm going to leave. So I'm going to leave soon to January 4th. When I come back, I'm sending them an email and I'm out. So, Nikki, that's early Juneteenth when I raised that money. That's when I knew, but I stayed. September of that, when I had that meeting with my boss, when he told me that his job was my top priority, that's when I knew. I set the date. I was like, yeah, I'm about to bounce. October with the training was the final straw. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm gone when I come back from vacation in January. And honestly, that's what was it for me.
Man, so dope, Jeremy. Honestly, let me just tell you now. I don't even want to wait till we get to the end. Dude, I'm listening and I'm just so amazed that just on so many levels, right? Like the story itself, the impact, the passion and the energy that you bring, I think is so dope. I'm literally like having a tough time come up with questions. I'm enjoying. I feel like a listener right now. Like I got early access to the listening party or something. But no, that's phenomenal. If I can at least ask this final question as we kind of get ready to wrap here, talk about the impact for the community now. You know, I think now more than ever, especially with the pandemic, and you spoke on it a little bit. I have experience in the hospitality industry. I spent probably a decade in the hospitality industry myself. So, yeah, so I know firsthand, the love for the industry when you grow up in it, and of course, how much people have been impacted as a result of the pandemic. So talk about now, some of just the change that you've been able to create for some of these businesses from an impact standpoint, just by being able to highlight them when, like you said, they're not going, the Michelin, I don't even know, review or whatnot is not necessarily going to go to some of these restaurants, but you're able to show some love to them. Talk about the impact a little bit, for some of the people you featured.
Yeah, thanks, Moose. Honestly, man, last year was so life-changing for me. And it was just like, I remember Moose, man, a restaurant owner texted me and said, Jeremy, I'm so glad you posted this. I didn't have enough money to make payroll, but when you posted this, we sold out. And I started to notice, Moose, like so many restaurants was generating income based on what we was posting. There's a restaurant I went to today. They sell out of their sandwiches by 11 o'clock and they open at 7 a.m. every day. They bought another cooker to cook more meat and now it's trying to get a machine to produce more because people coming in and ordering like 4-5 sandwiches because of the product. And for me, man, the impact of the community was so dope, especially after Juneteenth when I started to see all cultures come up to me when I'm in the street. I love what you do and I love how we unify together. Or when I saw white couples on Juneteenth be genuine, coming to the south side of Chicago, going to these restaurants and saying, yes, we saw what's going on Juneteenth. Or, when we gave away 54 checks of these restaurants, being able to get money from the grant from our building burned down. So we had to let 10 employees go to we had to cut employees down because of food costs and we're not generating income or because people is not coming. To me, or when I signed the deal with Discover, when my team and we signed the deal with Discover and we gave away $5 million. Once I saw that immediate impact, I was like, this is what food does. Food brings people together. And I said, because of Black People Eats, because of the gift God gave me in the business, we're now able to unite the world through meals, companies with communities through meals, people of different races through meals. And when I started to, it was funny moves, man. None of this never hit me when I was doing it, bro. I didn't think about the impact of Black People Eats until like in 2021, like 3 months ago, when I was on the phone with a restaurant owner and she made me realize I did Juneteenth during the Restaurant Relief Fund, then signed the deal with Discover. Like from June to December of 2020, we've helped bring in $1 million of Black restaurants. And here's even tripped out part, Moose. The $100,000 that we raised, I didn't get a penny. All restaurants. So people not really ready to do strong community impact. None of that money touched me. I've never even made 6 figures, Moose. None of that money went to me. You know what I'm saying? I've helped Black restaurants get 7 figures and none of it went to me. Because I said, if I can just give, I'm telling you I'll be blessed. And because of that, bro, Discover, Kingsford, General Mills, more on the way. But bro, that all happened, man, because I literally cared about changing the world one meal at a time. And I said, I guarantee you, I'm going to change this world through food. And honestly, bro, that's really how it happened, man. Just creating lasting things that's going to affect the community. And that's really what shaped me, bro, when it comes to that community. Seeing lives change, seeing money being brought into communities, seeing people unite themselves through food, seeing restaurant owners call me and say, we needed that. We did an extra 300% in sales. Seeing people do $20,000 days on a one day and they never did that. That's what brought me joy. You know what I mean? And to be real with you, I was broken and a little depressed when I was doing all this, but nobody knew because I was carrying the weight of what I was going through, plus the stress of my job, plus the stress of the community all on my back. But an entrepreneur has to be willing to sacrifice their own pain in order to carry the pain of others because we have to bring people to an ultimate vision. And I was doing all this. I could have quit, but I didn't break. And honestly, Moose, that's how I knew. And that's what was joyful for me, man, to see the community have lasting impact just because of food and through the platform that God has given me.
Powerful. Powerful.
Yeah, this is leaving me almost speechless. Almost, people. Almost. I'm still
Almost.
here. Almost. I got one more question before we wrap up. Let's do this. What's next? You left your job. You're full time into this. Like, what's next for you? What's next for Black People Eats? I heard you doing some in Atlanta. I don't know. Let the people know what you have coming up this quarter, this year, 10 months, 10 years. I don't know, whatever you want to say.
Thank you, Nicky. Our goal is to do for Juneteenth. I want Juneteenth to do $1 million in one day this year of 2021. So we're doing the festival, $6.19 in Chicago and Atlanta. I want that to do $1 million in sales, and I want to do the restaurant relief fund again. I want to raise $100,000 and let all that money go to restaurants. Outside of that, next we're going to do a food festival in October, a month-long festival where you get specials every weekend the month of October. Because in other countries, Black history is celebrated in October, not in February. So that's how I came up with the concept Blacktober. We did it last year, and we're going to look into do that again. But my goal now is to really unite the world through eating, and not just eating of food, eating of information, eating of the minds of people. So we will be launching, and shout out to Nicky, you know what I'm saying? She the one who told me all the crazy gems and was really putting it in my ear, and other people outside of Nicky as well. But we started launching a podcast, and the podcast, the goal of the podcast is to eat from the minds of people, food, life, and business, and to share information to you so you can eat it, digest it, and have better lives. So that's what the goal is for me this year, focusing on those things. And who knows what's next? You know, we might have a TV show. You know, we're getting ready to go back to traveling, so it's go time now. Like,
when's the podcast break? First off, hold on. We broke Inky's podcast on this podcast. We're breaking Jeremy's podcast on this podcast. I just want to point out we break podcasts over here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know many others, but we do it over here. You know what I mean? We talk about it before anybody really knows. It's like not even out. So definitely keep that on your radar. But when can we possibly expect it? What we talking about?
So this is what our team and I are thinking. We're thinking to launch it in the fall of 21. Because what we're going to ready to start doing now is we're going to start brand plug for all you people out there who listening. We're going to start batch recording different restaurant owners. We're talking about the top of the top, the people who's really doing millions in sales. We're going to interview them. I'm actually going to have a host too, so it's not just me. And then we're going to just record, then release. So shameless plug out there for everybody who needs some branding tips. Record, then release. Record multiples, then release. Because you want to have an arsenal of what I call an arsenal of content. And my concept is documentation conceives content. So if you can just document journeys and processes and stories, then you can conceive content out of that documentation. So, and which will create an arsenal, and then you can shoot at your targets because now you have a fully loaded weapon. So our goal is just to create content and at least have it out by the fall of 2021. And we're dropping our first product. And another shameless branding plug. Build your brand before you drop a product. We have over 100,000 followers. We're verified, and we've never dropped a product. I want all you guys to let that sink in. And some of y'all selling before you building. But I'm going to just leave it at that because you can't get all the free game. But build before you sell. So we're dropping a product here. We're dropping a product.
Listen. Let's not give too much. We working on something behind the scenes for y'all. Don't give it too much. Don't give too much. But we would love when your podcast comes out. We do a live show on YouTube. For you to come promote your podcast live on YouTube, and we could possibly show a clip of it if you would like, part of your little launch program kind of vibe.
Implementation,
I mean,
yeah.
it could be
I would
it could
love
be
that.
instead of the Breakfast Club, it'd be the Nicky and Moose kind of podcast launch kind of vibe. I'm just saying we got a dope little audience.
Promo
I
tour,
Shout
would
out
Jeremy.
shout
We
out to
got
our
you with the
YouTube
promo
viewers.
tour.
Yeah, we got the promo tour ready for you. I'm just saying.
I would love that, and thank you so much. I would love that. I really appreciate it. I would love that.
Look, Moose, you got anything to say?
Nope, I am not even going to try. Jeremy, I'm going to pass it back to you for final words and yeah, get us out
Let
of
me
here.
set it up. Let me set it up. So first and foremost, like you heard, YouTube live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. West Coast time. Go follow us at Nicky and Moose everywhere. Jeremy, tell them where they can find you, all that great food, that smile, all that great stuff. And then we normally let Moose close it out with final words, but we gotta hear another bar. We gotta hear another bar. I'm just saying
Well,
it
first,
gotta happen. So let them know where they can find you, and then that last bar. And mind you, people, hold on. He a preacher. So expect the word right now. I'm just saying. I'm
man.
just saying.
Before I go, I first of all want to say, y'all, I want to say thank you, Nicky and Moose. First of all, thank you, Nicky, for all the love that you've shared. Guys, I hope you guys are seeing this is an example of what it means to build somebody else up. They did not have to let me on their platform. They also did not have to extend the courtesy of when I released the podcast, they're going to promote it. This is what true love looks like. Nicky gave me the camera equipment. She told me what to do, how to do it. And she said, don't pay me back. You pay me back by creating good content. Shout out to Moose too for just allowing me to be on this platform because he could have been like, no, I don't know. But the thing is, I hope you guys see
Do
that.
that one more time. Do that one more time.
I don't know. But I want you guys to see like this what it means. I want to thank both of you for allowing me to come on your platform, which is a wonderful platform that has amazing people. And I just feel honored to be on that. But you guys can catch me at Black People Eats. That's on Instagram, Facebook. YouTube is Black People Eats TV. And TikTok is Black People Eats. And on Twitter is Black People Eats. You can find me there on all platforms. That's it. You can catch me eating. On my personal Instagram is j.e.joyce. I'm now starting to help other people, teach them how to build their brands. So that's where you can find some personal stuff. And final words for me would be create something that's remarkable. And when I say remarkable, I mean create something that's remarkable. Remarkable means to mark about, which means to talk about. Create something that people will be emotionally connected to, that when they speak of it, it just invokes joy and it invokes for them to echo what you do until everybody has uttered your name, your brand, and what you do. Find your purple cow. Your purple cow is something that when somebody sees it, they stop, see it, and speak about it. If you can find that thing, create that remarkable thing, and focus on that one thing, I guarantee you will have a line of cars stop, taking pictures, showing, and people telling about what you do and who you are.